Recording.
Okay. Recording?
Recording.
All right. So now hitting the intro in 5, 4, 3, 2. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You are now tuned into the Black Ramen Podcast. How y'all doing? How's everybody? I am Chatty Patty, aka Madam Straw Hat, aka this my pirate ship, aka I am the celestial freaking dragon, aka let's get this shit started. And I got with me.
Hello, this is Sleepy Bree coming back 2 days in a row because we're trying to get y'all the content you deserve. You're welcome.
Mike.
We're keeping that.
100% keeping that. What's up, guys? This is Derby, aka Sexual Chocolate. Ain't nobody around here to yell in the background for me, so I should.
That sounds very sad.
This is fun. Is it though? Like, people say that, but I love being alone. It's the best.
I guess more anime binging
the
time.
world ended. Right, the world ended for everyone else, and I'm like, so I don't have to go outside, and everyone thinks I'm a hero? I like this. I could do this easy. Everybody in my family calling me like, yo, you depressed at home? I'm like, no. Please don't come up here. Leave me alone.
All right. So, right now, what we doing, Bree? I'll let you start it off since you all the way in Cali.
What's that got to do? Oh, I guess Crunchy's probably over here too. Anyway, if y'all tuned into our last episode, you heard us take a long minute to go through all of the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, give our super highly valued opinions, because yes, we are the authorities on anime. What we say goes, ultimately. I can't even say that with a straight face. So we went through the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, but just like last year, we have a few categories of our own we wanted to give some spotlight to. Honestly, most of this is just a chance to talk about some of our favorites and least favorites from last year, but we organized it into set categories. So, my personal favorite, but this year slightly depressing one, Patty, why don't you introduce Black Ramen's 2022 Best Melanin Award?
There it is. So, so, since I'm obsessed with melanin, this only made it only made sense for this to be my freaking category every year. So, Best Melanin for 2021, we have, oh my God, this name, bruh.
Figure it out.
That nigga from Attack on Titan. That nigga from Attack on Titan. That's what I'm saying.
Say it. Respect it.
I don't think you can introduce him that way. Betty, come on.
I don't know how to say it.
Try. And we will laugh at you anyway.
Onya Kopan. What's that? Am I saying it right?
Honestly, I don't know how to say it either. Even in Attack on Titan, I had to rewind and listen on Yakapon. Okay.
There it is.
We're all
on
Yakapon.
Yakapon.
A white teenager. We're all a white teenager at Starbucks right now. Like, how the fuck do you say this black person's name? Onya. You got it. We'll figure it out.
Just give me my latte.
Nah.
This is Onya.
Up. It was ridiculous. It was like, ooh, that guy looks good. And then he just had that. Why? Because God made me like this. Show it off a little bit. It's like, God damn. You know he seduced half the room right there. You know it.
I mean, first of all, he seduced the wrong set of room because those white she-devils need to get their hands off of him. This is a black melanated goddess for black melanated women. Now, I mean, he was just oozing all of the melanin. I loved him. And then the explanation that he made when they asked him, yo, where did you come from? How do you exist? He said, well, let me tell you something. The same way Ymir made you, he decided to put some goodness and put a little sprinkle and flavor in the world and made me. Hi, my name is Al Capone. And that's what it was. It was just amazing.
Say his name's Al Capone, like the mafia.
Whatever. It is what it is. But you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all see the waves. Y'all see the 360. That's all that matters. So we have what's his name? The next nominee is Ino Mata. Am I saying it right?
Yeah. That sounds right.
All right, Ino Mata from Ramen. Now, this is a series that Bree highly watched. It wasn't me. I watched the first episode, then tapped out because I'm very bad with watching niggas with amnesia.
Well, you missed
Can't do it.
Let me introduce one. So, this guy was from Ramen. That was the water polo anime from a few seasons ago, last year. I can't remember the exact season. Actually, no, I do remember. It was summer, because I think I was really shitting on summer anime. You can go back and listen to those episodes. But yeah, I was talking a lot of trash. Then the episode after that, I said, yeah, I was wrong. The summer was actually great. So, summer 2021 was decent, but this was the water polo one, and I love this kid, because he is adorable. He just has, like, a quick 5-second clip of his backstory. And the reason this black boy is playing water polo is because he tried out for the basketball team and failed. That is his backstory. He can't play basketball, so he's going to play water polo. Actually, I was like, as a black person who can't dance, I feel that. As a black person who cannot shoot a basketball, I feel that. As a black... No, actually, no, I do cook decently. I know spices. But for any of y'all who just feel like you're failing your ancestors a bit, this is the black anime character for you.
He ain't feeling nothing. He's killing every stereotype with every stroke.
Nah, he can't.
That's what he's doing. Wow. Wow.
Well, see, now I relate.
Why did I nominate him again? Okay, yeah, it's the melanin. All right. That's crazy.
And no, okay, here's a good thing. Before every match, he comes up to all of his teammates because his dad's a baker and says, look, I brought us all some little fudge squares. So he is bringing the chocolate, literally and figuratively, in that anime.
Okay.
Well,
I'll take that. I love some fudge. All right. The next nominee for Best Melanated is... What's that?
I believe it's pronounced this bitch.
Oh, this bitch. Oh, wow. Wow, really? All of that? All of that?
He pissed me off.
All right. No. Come on. Tonari from To Your Eternity. I liked her. I love her. She was gangster. I really did. She was annoying at first, but I let that slide because yeah, she was annoying at first. But to the very end, she remained loyal. She did. She wasn't loyal to homie Dog, aka Rock, aka Bear, aka Boy.
Because what this bitch did is she saw a boy walking down, and someone said, "Hey, I'll give you $20 if you sell him into slavery," and she's like, "Bet," and did it. She got the main character stuck in slavery, trapped in a death match.
Damn, Bree.
If he could die, he would have died. And you're like, oh, she was loyal to the end. That's not loyal. But she tripped him up from the jump. That is repaying a debt. And I was mad they went through like, oh, I forgive you and everything's fine route. I wouldn't forgive.
Well, I mean, he is immortal. And
so that makes it fine.
It kind of does.
I'm kind of regretting picking every nominee on here. I'm kind of regretting picking every nominee.
Yo, it's like if you rob Jeff Bezos of $100. It's like, how mad is he really?
She didn't rob Jeff Bezos. She kidnapped her kids and held a knife to their throat. You're forgetting the fact that she kidnapped the old lady and said, yeah, you're not getting her back. But anyway, joined this death match. And she didn't know he was immortal. Someone just said, hey, it will be real lit if you got that dude. And she said, bet. I'm not impressed.
It just kind of worked out.
I'm this close to starting over. Every melanated person I picked was just... let's just say it was a bad time. It was a bad time for 2021
yeah, there weren't many.
For melanated people. They weren't many. Especially the next one. The next and last nominee for Best Melanin is... Is it Noe?
I feel like Noe.
From Vantas. Noe?
Pretty sure it's Noe.
Noe from Vantas. I try to get a good picture of him. This is the best picture I could get. And mind you, it's kind of whitewashed. So, yeah, I just picked him because he he's very sexy in this series. I dropped the series after 2 episodes. Couldn't get with it. It didn't do it for me. But you know what did it for me? This nigga's face. He really did it for me. He was gorgeous. He was really one of the most sexiest vampires I would ever come across, and let him suck my blood. But yeah, that's the whole category of best melanin. So we have Attack on Titan. Only 4.
Y'all,
only
if
4
we
this
missed
year.
any, please let us know, because otherwise 2021 was a little lacking.
Yeah. This was I mean, it wasn't lacking on titles, it just was lacking on melanin. But you know, that's another day in the life of being a black weeb. Representation is limited. But ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you're really worried about representation, especially people talking about the shit that you like in the anime community, log in. Follow Black Ramen all day long. Like that segue? Had to put that in.
It was a decent plug.
Decent plug. Okay, so the next category for Black Ramen Anime Awards 2022. Well, 2021 actually. I always get confused because we're doing the nominees for 2021.
So let's call it Anime Awards 22. But it's for
22?
the 21
Okay.
season. Yeah, it annoys me too. What can you do?
People know what we're talking about. It's the beginning of 22.
Yeah, let's just make sure, 2022. All right. So the next category we have up right now is who wasn't paying taxes. You already know. This my shit right here. Because I always go for, listen, I'm a rebel at heart. So, all these studios was everything. So we nominated all the studios that didn't pay taxes and the artwork shows. So let's go. First nominee right here, Vivi with Studios. They didn't pay taxes. All of them was eating ramen, and they definitely got no toilet paper in the bathroom. So they definitely did what they were supposed to do. They ate ramen.
They couldn't afford.
No, they got them saltine crackers.
They could not afford no ramen.
Crackers is not bad. I'll take the crackers. I'll take the saltine crackers.
Yo, like they lost the ramen budget in her eyes alone. All right?
Right, those still shots that just close up on her face. Gorgeous. Yeah, they're not eating.
That's
everything.
All the ramen. That's gone. That's
the whole production team is broke. The soundtrack, everything, sleeve. The scores of this anime was amazing. With studios, man, one of them I think is outside with a cardboard. Talk about we'll dance for $5. Like, I'm serious. Like, this animation was totally, the studio definitely broke the bank for this. Like, I'd be surprised if they didn't do for the rest of the year. They said that's it. We're taking a break. They pulled this off during the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, with studios. First nominee and who wasn't paying taxes this year. Definitely, we got to give it to Wit Studios. Next nominee up for grabs, for Jobless Reincarnation Studio. What's that? Bind? Can I say Bind?
Yep.
Yeah, Studio Bind.
Studio Bind. Everything about this screams, come get me IRS, because I am not paying for shit. They went in their bag from the fact that this studio made it their business to have 2 types of art styles in the first. I know I sound redundant, but this blows my mind. There was 2 different art styles in the first episode. You got the realism of the real world before he hits into the isekai, and the isekai is just so bright and beautiful. And like, first of all, like I said before, me and Bree, we talked about the eyelash. Why you got to put so much definition in the eyelash?
As soon as you think, oh, here's another isekai this season, 3 seconds in the first episode, you'll change your mind. It's like, okay, here's another basic isekai. You look at it and see this guy's eyes as he is like dying in the rain pouring down. We always love rain scenes in anime. Like that fight in Akudama Drive between Brawler and the Enforcer with the rain coming down, the Ferris wheel in the background. Beautiful. But this, I think it rivaled it. 5 seconds in, I was like, oh, hot dang.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I was like, oh, somebody going to jail. They definitely did not pay taxes this year, which earns them a second seat at who wasn't paying taxes. Next up, we got Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid. What's the name of this studio? Coyote? What is it?
Kyoto Annie?
Okay, Kyoto. I'm sorry. Kyoto Animation. I'm sorry.
So it's nicknamed Kyoto, but it's Kyoto Animation.
Sorry, Kyoto Animation. They definitely did not care about nobody having kids who works in the office. They didn't care about none of that because you're not going home. You know why? Because we got to definitely we got to give them the God's blessing of having the best animation in this fucking anime. For some reason, I don't know why, but they went into town as far as making sure even every hair strand was beautiful. The shine above the cheek, the shine above the boob, chef's kiss. The horns, the fire bombs, the mountain fights, the fights in the hills with the dragons. Even the dragon tails look fucking sexy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. They decided, they was like, oh, you thought this was like a little funny comedy slice of life and we wasn't going to go in? Ladies and gentlemen, check the fight scene. Season 2, I'm pretty sure it's episode 9. We didn't deserve this. We really didn't. They didn't have to do this to us, but they did. They said, fuck you.
I'll tell you what happened. It was a clerical error. They were supposed to go over to the Battle Shonen side, but they took a left turn by accident instead of going right. And they said, okay, we need you just animate this real quick. Cool, dragons, bet. And then they came back to check on the Zork. Like, whoa. You're like, this ain't Demon Slayer?
Dude, this is
what? This isn't Jujutsu Kaisen? This is something different? Oh, well, y'all can keep that.
Yeah, they killed it.
It's supposed to be cutesy, my guy. What are you doing?
Nah, they killed it. They killed it. But last but not least, the studio that actually had to do jail time. Demon Slayer, Ufotable. Okay, do I need to say anything after this? They really did jail time. They first of all, the fact that they doing jail time now after forging and frauding their taxes for the past, I don't know, 6-7 years, how long the Fate series, every single time a Fate series come out, they always in the news for IRS be like, hey, nigga, your numbers is wrong. They're like, I'm gonna show you what's not wrong. These numbers of this of the manga sales and the type of people that's streaming our shit, those numbers are coming up. And because of that, you ain't getting paid. We're not paying taxes. So they definitely deserve this one because they, in every sense of the word, did not pay any taxes every year. First of all, round of applause. Every year? Embezzlement? Every year?
And this one, not only did they not pay taxes, I'm convinced they dipped into the state treasury a little bit. They had to. They had to have robbed a few banks. Look at that. That little walking scene with the geisha feet. You know the one?
Yep. Yes. With the shoes? With the clogs? With the wedges? Oh, yep. Come on now. Come on now. You know how many times I would have fell just coming out the house?
Right, that's a 10-year prison sentence on that scene alone.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yo, free my nigga. Put something on his books. And that's it for who.
Animation, they ain't got the money.
Yo, they I don't know what they were doing. They just was like, yo, fuck it. And that's the nominees for who wasn't paying taxes. Who got the next one?
Me. I want this one. Actually, I don't know if this one's fine. Actually, no, this is Derby's. Fine. But I want to at least announce what this category is because it is one of my favorites. Who wasn't paying taxes, but for the wrong reason. So we just gave you a bunch who weren't paying taxes. Beautiful animation. They did that. They went hard. And we applaud them for their illegal activities. But this, we look and say, you robbed the bank for that? Stop it. Go pay your taxes. Stop it. You have extra money lying around. If you're doing this shit, it does not deserve it. So that's what this category is. They spent way too much time, money, and effort on some subject matter that did not need it. It looks great, but there's nothing on the inside. Mostly. Go ahead. I had to preface it.
So, as you heard what this topic is about, it's pretty much, if you put in $1 into this, you're fucked up. I'm not saying like you put in $1, $1 US dollar, 1 yen. Well, I guess 100 yen is kind of the conversion rate. You overspent your money, all right? It did not need to exist. And let's start it off. First off, Fairy Ranmaru. If you've been watching our show, you know that we've watched Fairy Ranmaru.
Thoroughly, yes.
At least 2 of us. And we don't know why we watched it. Well, Bree probably know why, but I have no idea. But I did finish it. And it don't need to exist. I don't need to see a bunch of teenagers change in mid. I don't need to see transformations anymore at my age.
Especially at the level these are at. So we said if you put in 100 yen, you spend too much. This one might have dropped a few 100,000 on these transformation sequences. Like, they spent big bucks, and I'm sitting here wondering, who is your audience? Is it me? Did you do this just for me? It's not a lot of us, but there's like, I watched it with 4 of my friends and we had a good time. But yeah, this is a wild, weird show. And it just, I feel like they spent a lot of money on it, and I can't figure out why. I appreciate it, but I don't understand. If you haven't seen Fairy Ranmaru, all I say is watch the transformation sequences. If it's for you, it's for you. And I welcome you to my team. I appreciate it. We have cookies on Thursdays. If it's not for you, yeah, that's probably accurate. Yeah.
Not the cookies.
Cookies every Thursday. You gotta.
Definitely the cookies.
Oh my God.
Eat it off their abs, I guess.
Oh, the abs.
Like, understand, like, when we say they put too much money in, like, every transformation had its own song number. There's 5 main characters. They made 5 different songs for them. Like, it's a full-length song. At least 2-3 minutes of a full song just for them to transform.
And the ending credits? The ending credits are beautiful. I'm mad it wasn't nominated for Best Ending this year. Crunchyroll, I have complaints.
I feel we always have complaints. But yeah, Fairy Ranmaru, first nominee. Second nominee. Alright, we're all ashamed. Well, I know I am for this next nominee. And that's Redo of Healer. For the simple fact, I'm ashamed that I did watch it. Like, fully. Sat down, ate a sandwich, and just watched this whole revenge fantasy. And $2 is too much. Like, it doesn't need to exist.
It really didn't need to exist. It was fine staying as a light novel, but in an anime, it was just weirder. It was almost hentai, but too revenge.
Almost.
Nope.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen.
They had me staring at a vase for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but from a person who read the manga, this is nasty. This is very nasty, and I enjoyed every second of it. I'm sorry, okay? Y'all already know how I get down. This, yes, I get it. For the wrong reasons, yes. But did I watch the whole shit? Yes, I did. Did I watch the edit version? No, I watched the uncensored version. Did I read it from the beginning like I didn't watch the anime like it was in detail? Yes, I did. Am I coming back for season 2 if they get picked up? Yes, the fuck I will.
Wrong reasons. This one, it'll make you feel a little guilty because at first you will fully agree with him. He does some messed up stuff, but I kind of felt like, she kind of deserves that one.
At first. No. I don't think I've ever stopped agreeing with him.
No, you know what it is? What I really dislike about like certain revenge stories is that it takes too long for the person to get what's coming to them. And then when they finally get what's coming to them, it's like real quick after we spent like mad episodes of watching this dude being tortured. No, he drags it out like what Bree said, like a fine, well-cooked meal.
I don't remember saying this. Don't put words in my mouth.
Yeah, I remember.
No, that was your quote. That was your quote.
Happened.
Like a cooked meal, we were worth the wait. And the revenge story in this, like I said before, when that shit happened January 6th at the White House, I know how white supremacy work. I know these niggas is not really going to get what's coming to them. So I watch Redo a Healer to make me feel better.
I feel like that's what this show did. Someone got dumped. And then they happened to read this and they said, yeah, I'm putting all my money into it. Someone got dumped and he made this to get back at his girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like.
So yeah.
It's like, what's that song on TikTok?
Wrong reason to do this.
It's like, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, fuck your uncle, fuck your auntie. The whole damn family.
You know what?
Quite a few of them.
Hope your son does drugs and your daughter's a hoe. That's what this show is.
You ain't shit, Brie. I'm not surprised if one of them niggas from Fresh and Fit was one of the producers for one of the... The Fresh and Fit podcast is one of the producers of this show. This is right up their alley. This is all they shit. Bitches ain't shit. Now let me stop. Go ahead.
So yeah, Redo of Healer definitely on this nominee list.
Yes, they did.
Alright, next up, we got It's Too Sick to Call This Love. It's Too Sick to Call This Love don't need to exist for the simple fact it's in the title. The title explains itself that it is too sick to call this love, and it's set up as a rom-com. There's nothing funny about this. This is full-on grooming. Not even grooming. Like, it's just full-on... Like, you ever hear those old-school love stories? Like, like an old school marriage, and they're like, yeah, you know, I just went to her job for 300 days straight, and then she finally said yes. Happy. And it's like, no, that's a terrifying story. Please never say it again.
That sounds like a crime, sir.
Ma'am, please divorce him immediately. Like, this is not good. This is that show. It's just him chasing her after she said no 20,000 times. Over and over every day. Calling her phone like, yo, why you ain't pick up? Like, it's wild. It doesn't need to exist. It's a problem. They spent too much money on this. And I know they spent too much money on this because I still listen to the OP.
But you missed one.
Well,
the one that's the same thing in a different font.
Yeah, but one of the main reasons that this is not this is on this category is because, ladies and gentlemen, the girl is in high school. This gentleman clearly is an office worker, well established, and fully established, and he ends up, and he's a lady killer. He's just a womanizer and all that shit, right? So he meets this young lady in the train who gives him what, breakfast?
Nah, she saves his life.
Yeah, he was about to slip because he didn't eat breakfast, and he was like, she saved him, grabbed him by the collar, and not only that, she gave him her lunch or breakfast or whatever. It must have been the most best breakfast. It must have been one of those, I'm not even gonna hold you. It must have been I had pancakes that she must have gave him in those bento box, because this dude was sprung with the extra syrup. This dude was sprung for no reason. He would not take no for an answer. And this is why we call it, this is one of the main reasons why I was on here. This never needed to exist. This was toxic as fuck. And it was, and like Derby said, the OP slap. It should have never been here. But, you know, I digress.
So I know they ain't pay no taxes because they had that band make that OP. And it's like, damn. All right, next up. We got Joron, the Princess of
You keep missing
Blood.
one. You missed Hige Hero.
What do you mean? Hige Hero's on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did skip Hige
I know.
Hero. My bad, guys. Alright, Hige Hero's the same thing.
Another grooming.
But not really. Alright. This one's grooming. It feels like you want to root for this man. Alright. I'm getting all my Usagi drop vibes again. Just like, oh, this is going to be nice and wholesome. This is a wonderful dude. And then I hear how it ends. I'm like, this is dumb. Not only that, my annoyance is he has no real friends. None of his friends tell him this is a bad idea. But it looks
What's
good.
a bad idea? None of his friends told him what was a bad idea.
Yo, alright, so the full title, I believe, is I shaved my beard and then I let a high school girl live with me.
Red flag.
He's a full-grown man.
Red flag already. Red flag already.
Full-grown man decided to let some high schooler live with him. What? Call the police.
And not in a pure foster parent type situation. Isn't she from pretty much episode 1 making romantic approaches? Like, I'll sleep with you, I'll do this. And even if he says no, that's still like, ooh.
Though, I will give the show one thing, is they had one great line in that show, and it was a great moment for him where he told this chick, like, no, I'm not a great man. It's just every man you've met just has not been shit. And I was like, oof, that's a good line. I like that. But that's it. That's it. That's the only worth of this show. That one line. Then nothing else. It doesn't need to happen. Moving on. Joron, the Princess of Snow and Blood. No, I went into that season excited because it looked good.
It looked so good.
It looked good. It's some really phenomenal art.
She is the princess of wasting my fucking time. That's what the fuck she was.
Pretty much.
God.
Yo, like they just had they didn't pay their taxes for this art, but really what they needed to do was siphon some of that money into character development and story. Just some better writers. That's all you needed, and this show would have been amazing. Like, just dial the art back a little. I get it. You don't want to pay taxes. It's cool. Here's where you should spend that money, though. Characters and story will always be better. That's what you need to carry a show through. No matter how pretty your show is, if there's nothing to it, no one's gonna finish. And that's what happened here. They fucked up and they spent their money on the wrong thing.
Yo, if anybody puts princess in their title, I'm not watching. Fina the Pirate Princess screws me over. Princess of Snow and Blood was totally a waste of time. Anybody that puts princess in their title is we didn't get a full princess, a real princess story, like a real good story until Yona of the Dawn, and nothing can touch that.
I'm gonna have to fight you on that. Princess Tutu slaps. Princess Mononoke.
We're not talking about Magical Girl. We're not talking about Magical Girl. We're not talking about Magical Girl. We're talking about on a battle shonen level, on a seinen level. We're not talking about Magical Girl. Talk about
Sounds
this.
like a gatekeeping shoujo. Fine.
Nah.
And Princess Mononoke is not Magical Girl.
Yeah,
No, it's not Magical.
That's different.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Thank you. But this was definitely a waste of time. I had high hopes for this. I was like, yo, this was supposed to be magical. Yo, from the first episode, like I said before, who's this little girl that you living with? How the fuck you know she gonna kill you? And now that you know she gonna kill you, how you gonna tell her how to kill you and then let her feed you? Like, she was there cleaning the house, and when the girl's about to slit her throat, she grabs the girl's hand and says, oh, if you want to kill me, you got to put the knife up here. What kind of psychotic shit is this? None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. This is a princess of wasting my time. Never again. I will never be out naked again.
So, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that whole TikTok trend. Because it's like, yo, you're hitting that N-word a little too hard, TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
They showed the video who actually did it. It was a white guy who said it.
Oh, I knew it.
Of course it was.
I was like, I feel like it's going to be
said it.
misused. And then they'll slap you with it's just a trend. I'm not actually saying it. It's just the audio.
Yeah. So, yeah, Princess of Snow and Blood. Wasted Petty's time and wasted their money. Next, we got... Alright, our next nominee is Bishonen Tanteiden, or Pretty Boy Detective Club. Gorgeous.
So beautiful. The openings
really,
use
really
that
pretty.
starry sky.
Yo,
the character designs are super cute.
Name.
I loved looking at them. And that's it.
Lives up to its name. It's pretty. They are pretty. Like, I am a straight man. They're pretty. Stop. They're pretty. But, like Bree said, that's it. It's all pretty, no substance, no nothing. Like, there's nothing else to it.
It could be an art book. I would love it as an art book.
It would actually make a good art book, yeah.
Yeah. Gorgeous, super cute characters.
I did that thing.
Or I think it's probably based off of an otome game. It feels like an otome game. With like a really generic main character who's just supposed to exist around the harem of guys.
Yeah, I'm sure there was something she needed to solve. I think like her father's death or some bullshit. Either way.
The one thing she needed to solve was why the studio made this. That's the only mystery that's worth solving. Not the show. Why? Who said this was okay?
Like,
but all right.
The amount of things you could be making instead, and this is what you chose. Okay,
shame on you.
This is what you spent your money on. Like, you went in on this,
right? You see that dance at the end? Where all the characters go over the
too much. It's wild
for no reason.
But yeah, these wrap up our nominees for you didn't pay taxes,
but you should have.
But for all the wrong reasons. You might as well have, yeah. At this point, you might as well have paid your taxes.
Okay, who got overhyped?
Me. It's time I get to go.
All right, Brie.
This was anime, and it's not necessarily that they weren't good. It's just the gap between expectation and reality is so large that regardless of how the show actually does, you leave feeling disappointed. So this is partially to blame for the fans of the community, or maybe even Crunchyroll putting too much emphasis on it. It's just, these are the anime that we wanted to like, but that did not deliver. First,
that's a lie. Fruits Basket. You never liked Fruit Basket. You never liked Fruits Basket. You was going to put this on here regardless. You never wanted to like it. You never found it entertaining. You never found it pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, this
you
is my
aggravated by the main protagonist.
That anytime I have a category where I can shit on an anime, I will find a way to put Fruits Basket in that category. I promise. Watch me. Listen up next year. We'll have some new ones, and I'll still shit on Fruits Basket.
I think they got that prequel coming out. So
real quick, we got a P.O. box. I'm gonna put it in the bottom. If anybody buys and sends Bree the first manga issue of Fruits Basket, the first volume,
I will go out to my
I will have you on the show. You can come on the show. I'll have you on the show. And you gotta come and you gotta sit there and convince Bree why Fruits Basket is worth her time to read it.
Right, I'll even burn it one page at a time. I'll rip it out, not a good reason, burn page 1, rip it out, burn page 2. I'll go all the way through the first volume, I promise.
Nah, I want to see this shit. This shit is hilarious. If anybody does this, I swear to you.
That would be a fun, like, 3-hour video.
What? What?
But, okay. So, enough shitting on Fruits Basket. I know some of y'all like it. You're wrong. Next up for Overhyped was Beastars 2. Y'all, when I tell you, I wasn't totally convinced with Beastars at first, but I really got into it for the first season. Even though I thought, like, horror really ain't shit. I didn't understand why people liked horror so much. He was alright, but... So, the one saving grace of season 2 was that horror pretty much didn't exist, but there were so many loose strands. I feel like if you read the manga, it's like, oh, it all makes sense. But I was looking and saying, okay, so you just introduced not new character. Who the hell is the giant snake? Why is the high schooler responsible for catching the murder? Where are the police? The amount of times I had to question, where are the police, is a problem. There was that giant governing body of school leaders who are all, hey, whoever catches the murderer will be the Beastar. Why? I repeat, why is the children responsible for catching a murderer? I don't understand. Also, it didn't really go anywhere. That new sheep dude came in, but didn't really do anything. That snake was around, but didn't do anything. My homie Louie got in charge of a frickin' mafia group. Then he decided, JK, that was fun, but I'm gonna bounce back now. But
Bree, why you didn't like Haru? Just curious.
Because she didn't even enjoy it. I remember, I spoke about this before. I couldn't remember because the hate is just like automatic now. She was being a hoe, but she didn't even like being a hoe. So she was like a poor me hoe. If you're going to go hoeing, at least enjoy it. If you're going to get on your knees in front of a giant wolf, at least be interested in the size of his package. And so it's like, oh no, I'm always pressured into doing this, which lived reality of women. I don't care. She a hoe, happily, joyfully, but without the happy and joy. Eagerly going out like, yeah, I cheated on your boyfriend and I didn't like it. At least enjoy it if you're going to like help a guy cheat on his girlfriend. If you're going to do it. And then still being an ass when his girlfriend comes up and said, hey, did you sleep with my guy? Yeah, I did. At least own it. Oh, okay. I'm getting offhand. The point is, she was very lacking in the second season, which I found kind of hilarious. But yeah, if you're going to hoe, at least enjoy being a hoe. If you don't enjoy it, don't hoe.
Okay. That makes sense. All
right, that's all I'm going with. So yeah, Beastar Season 2, I was disappointed. Next up, I know the one that really disappointed y'all. The Promised Neverland Season 2.
Who put this in here? Why? We said we wasn't going to talk about this no more.
We're always going to talk about it. There's the other thing
that
said we weren't going to talk about.
That don't make no sense. There's only been one season.
Thank you.
You're right.
This never happened.
So, theoretically,
as Bree would say, this was a fever dream.
If perhaps Cloverworks tried a second season of Promised Neverland and it failed epically because they cut out a bunch of important arcs, this is where it would be. So I have not read a single page of the Promised Neverland manga. I was heading about the first season, but then I was like, okay, by the end, it was great. I loved it, and I said specifically, y'all can probably go back in the recordings and hear me say this, I don't want any more. Cut it here, stop it here. It's a good ending place for a solid 12-episode anime. Because the premise was escape from the demon farm, and they escaped from the farm. They swung off, and they had that great moment of looking back. It was a clean, wonderfully made season. I was like, okay, that's great. But then these two are like, oh, there's another, there's more, there's so much you got to find out. So I said, okay, bet. I watched season 2. I was like, that was so mediocre. I don't understand why y'all like this. Yep, I didn't get it. And then I hear there's all this other stuff that was supposed to be in there. So when I was explaining to them what was there, and they were explaining to me, I was like, oh, there was that? Oh, no, that was different. Oh, no, that was different. Oh, no, that was different. It was unrecognizable, I would say. For something that so many people were excited for, that had such a great story, that had such a fantastic first season, to drop to that? Oof. This, if it had existed in the first place, it would be a high contender for most overhyped anime.
Okay. All right, now you salvaged it. I was literally about to see if I could mute this. But
oh yeah, don't worry. There is no problem with Neverland Season 2. Cloverworks did not make a Season 2. It did not happen.
That's right.
But real quick, I just want to say this for Promised Neverland. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, the reason we go so hard for this is that none of y'all will understand if y'all didn't read the manga like me and Derby did. None of y'all will really understand on why the demons were looking for children with the IQ level, why it was called Promise Neverland. What was the promise? Y'all not gonna y'all not even gonna know there's other children that escaped from other farms unless you read it.
Some of the best villains. It ain't the queen. The queen's not the best villain.
It's not. It's really not. And there's so many, and you get a chance to experience meeting other mothers, because there are other mothers. So please, we are bashing this shit for a reason. Read the manga. Read the manga.
Yeah, please make some time.
Okay, Bree, you got it.
So the next one on this is one I was really looking forward to, and that was The Way of the House Husband. So this was just a slice of life comedy manga, short panel short stories, and a lot of people were excited for it because it's hilarious. It's great. It's a fun premise, and hearing it's going to be an anime, we're like, oh, hell yeah, let's go. Y'all, this was not an anime. This was not animated. What it was Reading Rainbows. They Reading Rainbow The Way of the House Husband with minimal picture movement, slight switches as someone just voiceover narrates what's going on. You cannot even call it, into the point where you could barely watch it. You could honestly hardly watch it just because if you're aiming for an anime, it just took too much concentration to look at it. It was kind of boring to look at because nothing was really moving except for special effects around the edges. So it's oh, so disappointing. But what isn't disappointing, what is not overhyped, is the live action of The Way of the House Husband. In fact, pretend this anime doesn't exist. The voice actor who did this Reading Rainbow is the actor in the live action, and he fits the role to a T. So it's all on Netflix in 5-10 minute shorts. And it is just pure, and it is good, and it is classic. But this right here, The Way of the House Husband anime, nah, that wasn't it.
I'm not gonna hold you. The slides that Brie did was a lot better than The Way of the House Husband anime. Her slides had more emotion than the slides they put on Way of the House Husband. This was little to no effort whatsoever. They basically just took the manga pages, slapped color in it, and was like, we're just gonna move this front to back, and that was it. This was this is one of the reasons why we had to write Netflix a letter when we did their Netflix, because we felt like, you got the money, why do this?
Right.
Why?
See, I'll tell you what happened.
Why?
They paid all their taxes in advance, in full, and now they're expecting their tax return this year. That's all this was.
They're not getting shit.
They paid their taxes.
Shit. As a matter of fact, they owe. After this, they owe.
They owe us.
They're gonna owe taxes.
They owe on principle.
Yeah, they do.
But anyway, next up, some more princess bashing.
Oh God!
I'm just saying, Princess Tutu, Princess Mononoke, Princess. I think there's one called Murder Princess. There's some good princesses, but this chick
Murder Princess
does princesses dirty.
This wasn't her.
This wasn't it. This wasn't it. So
fuck that bitch.
Honestly, I can't even say I watched very much of it. I know those two did, Patty and Derby, but I saw a lot about it. I saw it promoted. I saw an amazing trailer for it, but she was just such a milksop, boring, bland character. Maybe y'all can say more about how much this disappointed you.
No, this shit was trash. I watched everything.
Here's the thing. It's basically her. It's yo, your main character is that bad. Your show's gonna suffer because their side characters are amazing. Patty will tell you there's some side villains that come in early on and get killed off by episode 4. It's yo, they were great. No, let's bring them back. It's and then it's just more of this main character. It's why?
Everybody was a lot more interesting than her. All the side characters were and the fact she had white privilege. The fact that no matter what happened, they were gonna come get her. No matter what happened, she couldn't die. No matter what happened, they were gonna follow her to every bad decision this bitch made. She was just terrible. I was like, can we have a story about the pirate? The female pirates? Can we have a story about the twins? Can we have the story about the womanizer with the long hair that was about to do something when they got into the port of the sea? When Shorty was like, hey, you want to have some fun? He said, I ain't got no money. She said, I ain't talking about money. I was like, oh, this is spicy. And they gave me that on the second episode. So I was like, yo, I'm all in. And I kept watching it. Me and Mike kept watching it. We was like, okay, this is trash, but I'm going to keep watching it because I feel like there's going to be a backstory from one of these characters that we are a lot more interesting than her. Crunchyroll, shame on you for pushing this on my timeline, telling me that this was going to be the next big thing walking and making me think this was like another female Luffy or something. This was not it. Y'all should have paid taxes.
Pirate Princess, are you kidding me?
Word.
Yeah. I was so excited.
Yo.
She was useless. She was useless.
Now, speaking of kind of useless white-haired anime girls, we got another one with practically the same design as Fina, and this was Tacked Up Destiny. I'm Bastion Warner. I thought like the character design was cute, but this thing was pushed so hard because this, you know, combination of two massive studios, great animation, looks beautiful. Yo, it was so bland. Of course, we all know and can name at least 3 or 4 anime off the top of our head, which has like a soldier girl who does all the fighting while like a guy kind of just stands back and directs her, where the girl is pretty much the weapon. And this is just another one of those that doesn't do it in a new way. It's not a particularly interesting way. Because I see this, and then I can't help but compare it to, for example, Gunslinger Girl. Freaking masterpiece. Beautiful, drama, intense, and has that like child soldierous feel. But this is just, you know, girls with guns, vaguely, lightly music themed, but also not that musical at all. Because he like plays the piano twice and suddenly like, oh, it's music themed. No, it's just a slightly musical aesthetic. You put some music notes on her outfit and called it music themed.
Let me tell you something. This is who, you know how Naruto fans talk about, oh, Sakura is useless? This is what we mean. This is what useless is, not Sakura. This is what useless is. If useless had a, like, listen, you look up useless in the dictionary or in Google, it would be these 2 girls with the white hair. This shit was pointless. Pointless. Fucking pointless. None of this had to exist. You wasted time, resources, and money. I'm pretty sure the 2, who was it, Mappa and Madhouse did Tacked Up Destiny?
Yeah, Mappa and Madhouse.
All right, you could tell both of those studios came together and they all had 2-hour lunch breaks. They did not give a fuck.
They had
so 2-hour lunch breaks every day.
And animating fight scenes that like 10 minutes before the deadline, they're like, oh shit, we forgot a storyline.
They went to home early on time. Nah, this was terrible. This is not what anime should be. This really isn't. This can't even be a mid. You know, all right, let me just say this. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, nothing's wrong with mid. Mid is just a relaxing, you know, ease on down type, eating with your meal type anime. This can't even be considered a mid. This will hurt your eyes. This will frustrate you. It's bad. It's bad. Who got underhyped?
I believe that would be me.
All right, next category, guys. Underhyped.
We jumping into underhyped, and this is pretty much the exact opposite of overhyped because, you know, the English language works that way. Anyway, first off, Fairy Ranmaru makes the list again because, look, I know what I said earlier, all right, like 20 minutes ago about it shouldn't exist, but here's the thing, though.
I'm so glad it does.
Here's the thing, though. Exactly, like, it's downright enjoyable. Like, I said what I said earlier about I don't know why I watched it, but I know why I watched it. It was kind of good. It still doesn't need to exist. But since it does, everyone should check it out.
Right? It's got, like, it's a little confusing, but it has some interesting world building. All the characters, like, get some backstory so you actually understand them and care about them as characters. Like, they all have these conflicts. I think it could have had another 12 episodes. It could have had a 24-episode series. It was almost too short for all that it was putting in there. They packed a lot, and it made no sense why.
All of their main characters have more substance than Fina. Like, every single one by themselves. Like, every single one can hold on a whole show by themselves. Like, they could actually have a whole show by themselves that you would watch. So, even though I don't think it needs to exist, like I said, give it a look, because, you know, it's here now. It's here, and
it's queer.
Enjoy. I did not say that.
I heard it apply, but yeah. Guys, this is the campiest magical boy show you'll ever watch. I highly recommend it.
All right. Next up is It's the best show of the year. All right.
I'm playing the OP as we speak. I'm playing the OP.
You know how Black Ramen feels about Odd Taxi. All right. The fact of the matter is, until the whole world has seen Odd Taxi, it's underhyped still.
Right.
All right. Not enough of you have seen it. I don't care if it's been 1,000, if it's been 10,000. I don't care if a million people have seen it. I need 10 million next week. All right. I need everybody in the world to sit down and watch Odd Taxi. It's one of the greatest things to have ever graced Crunchyroll. It's one of the greatest things to have ever graced my eyes. Odd Taxi. It will enter my top 10 and probably be there forevermore.
Please, very unexpected. It was really good, unexpected, great story, amazing OP. It was just good all around. Just to show you how good it is, and I looked this up, Odd Taxi manga came out in January. This got picked up for an anime on March.
Dang.
That's highly unheard of. Usually, a manga would have to have at least 2 fucking volumes. They was like, oh, nah. We need this animated like yesterday. Yo, even the girl idol pop group that's on here, their songs is fire. They got like 3 songs on here. 2 of them. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, Black Ramen has a Black Ramen Anime Tunes playlist on Spotify. Check that out. Every song you need to get into, we have it, especially the Odd Taxi OP, the Odd Taxi scores, all of that. Tune into it. Get into it. Follow it.
All right, and next up we have Cloverworks. Somehow not fucking up, but it's a season 1, and they seem to not fuck up season 1s. Shadow's House. All right, Shadow's House ain't getting enough love. I swear I only saw 1 person cosplay in the Shadow House characters. Easily had one of the greatest villains
in Anime NYC
from last year. Yeah, I did see one. One person had like the Kate outfit on.
Really? Did we have a picture?
No, I had no picture.
You should have taken one.
I was very sad.
Nah, he's buying merch.
I didn't have my phone in my hand.
Nah, he was buying
merch.
You
should have sat down and painted it on the ground in your blood. That's the level of devotion I need to this. Because, guys, Shadow House, it's good. It was a solid season. I think it was just a 12 episode. But, like Derby said, one of the best villains. I'm mad none of those villains were nominated in the Crunchyroll Awards. Such an interesting world-building, convoluted plots that's like sprinkled hints throughout the early parts, so that when you get to the end and have that payoff, it's so worth it. And yet, I don't really hear anyone talking about it or picking it up. The only thing it was nominated for was Best Ending, which is absolutely true, and it will be a travesty if 9-9 doesn't win.
The best ending song, the best score is beautiful.
Yeah, but it should have definitely been on Best Girl, you know. Miliko definitely deserved that nod. Right,
Kate is pretty great too.
Kate is pretty great too. This is a bunch of Best Boy. I believe John, right?
Like, yo, absolutely.
Like, Shadow's House needs way more love. I don't know why Crunchyroll snubbed them, but that's a topic for a different day, I think.
Nah, they just like me. They don't trust Cloverworks, so I guess it. I get it. I get it. Until they redeem themselves.
But Cloverworks never did anything. Cloverworks never did anything. There's only 1 season of Promised Neverland.
Got you.
Right. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Got you. That's why I love you, bitch. Got you.
I forgot to think. My bad.
Yep. Silly guys.
Silly me. All right. My next nominee for Underhyped is Kimono Jihen. All right. So, look, we've seen monster stories before. You know, monsters that are masquerading as humans. But I did like this dark twist. I did like the fact that they were all like little kids and they're just being forced to like fight like really, really rough fights. Like later on in the season, like if you stuck with it, you meet you get into their backstories and like what their families have gone through and are still doing. And it is good. It is really good. And I feel bad for anyone who dropped it early off because there's like a good 3 episodes where they're not really doing much. Like, I don't know if you ever watched like really old anime where like the point of the show starts in like episode 12.
Oof.
Like you have like just 10 episodes of nothing really happening. So they have like 3 or 4 episodes like that. So I could see why a lot of people just went, all right, this was cool. You know,
they did a Boruto.
Got you. And then you just stopped. Now, Boruto did that shit for like what? It's like filler for like 100 episodes, 200 episodes.
200.
Right? Like, nah, this was 3. It was 3 episodes of, like, kind of filler, where they're just kind of setting stuff up in the background. You'll get, like, 1 minute of actual story, and then the rest is, like, I'm eating pizza for the first time. Like, alright. But it gets good. It gets better. Please check it out. Next up, we have one of my personal favorites of last year. As you know, I am a heavy isekai head. I still feel robbed that Bree stole the BL isekai from me on our last episode. She knows what she did. But Tsukimichi, again, a lot of slice of lifey moments. But if you stuck with it, there is a scene at the end where shit starts to get real. Like as soon as like the power, as soon as everything starts to get set up, the world's kind of built. Shit gets real, and it's good. It's just a great isekai. All right, please give it a whirl. All right, it's no jobless. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm gonna say it with my chest. It's no jobless. Nothing really is. All right, but check this out. And last but not least, even though you've probably heard of it, you probably haven't actually watched it. And that's Heikei Monogatari. That's our last nominee for Underhyped. There's a reason why everyone who's like checked it out is telling you to watch it. And none of us can fully explain it, alright? Because the art, not that great. Story's amazing though. But the art's not that great. The music, it's good. It's not my cup of tea. But it's good. But there's something just enthralling about, like, you know how much we love Odd Taxi because of how good that story is. This is that. There's just a really good story here. And it's just fully encapsulating to see exactly what happens. Even though you kind of know how it's going to end. Because it's a historical, like, story that already exists. So you kind of can look it up. If you've already known the poem that's supposedly based on. You definitely know what it's about. But yeah, great show. Underhyped. More people need to see it. Check it out. Those are our nominees for Underhyped.
Okay, then last up we have our newest category. So this category is the best standalone episode. Stop it. So what this is about is a lot of categories, especially for Crunchyroll, depend on the series as a whole. Which sometimes is disadvantageous to more episodic anime or such. But this category specifically is for just one episode of any show that freaking knocks your socks off. Wow, that was a very cheesy saying, but it does. That makes you stop, say, oh, hot damn, and want to immediately hit replay. Something that even if you have no context on any of the rest of the series can look at this as almost an independent OVA or independent movie, 23 minutes long. And it's just hot damn. The writing is clean from the first second to the last. You see characters, you immediately care about them. And it just contains the entire weight of a series in a single episode. And this season, we had a few that I feel really fit this category. So, first of all, Komi Can't Communicate, episode 1, I Want to Talk. Guys, so obviously, first episodes have an advantage here because they're meant to set up a lot of stuff. But this first episode was so good and so endearing. First of all, the animation, they put every cent into this. Like, from the start, they all started, like, clearing out their pockets, dumping pennies to set this together. And it is beautiful, and the way it just constructs a storyline of this super hot, amazing, perfect-seeming girl who has this crippling speech disability, pretty much. And this, like, loser guy is like, I'm gonna help out. He's such a nice guy. And she's such a pure girl. Oh, I love it. I loved it so much.
No, it was beautiful. The animation was top tier. Everybody's subscription money went to this. Even the detail to the stockings that she wore when the wind just hit her hair. Just the first episode, like the first few seconds when she's on the sidewalk and she's walking and the wind just hit and her hair just goes like this. And everybody's just looking at her like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. I was like, fuck that. This animation is immaculate. Who did this? Right. But then I found, and then it was Netflix. Then I was like, nah, Netflix pay taxes. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They pay taxes. They got everybody's money. So of course they pay taxes.
Yeah, and it really held up to what people expected. Because this was a really popular rom-com series. A lot of people were looking forward to it. And it's also one of the first anime, along with Blue Period, that Netflix actively showed week by week. Simulcast. You don't, like, wait a month and get it all dropped. This was coming out each week.
Wait, Bree, you mentioned Blue Period, right?
Late, but it was
yes, I did mention Blue Period.
Blue Period didn't get nominated for nothing.
Nah.
No.
Wow, I just realized that.
He could have gotten Best Boy. I could have seen it nominated for a great drama. But I think there was just so many strong contenders for 2020 that it got drowned out. It's still very good. It doesn't even make any of our categories, but Blue Period is a fantastic art anime. And it's kind of like how we always say, if it's a music anime, you want to be able to hear it's a music anime. This is an art anime, and you can see it's an art anime.
Yeah.
It could have been in the category for best animation, though. One of the top animations.
No. It wasn't like actively
that's a tough
animated
sell
like
this
that.
year.
Yeah. Because there wasn't enough movement.
Any other year, yes. Not last year.
I mean, if Keep Your Hands Off the Eizouken won for best animation, I don't see how. Are you dancing, Bree?
Yes, I am.
Did you do the
immediately?
Easy breezy?
Yeah, I did, and I always win.
But I see if they could do that, I don't see how Blue Period could have won that.
But it couldn't. Not last year.
The year was too strong. It just didn't hold up in any one category. Like, for example, for a drama, would you say that would beat out To Your Eternity? Even though y'all say that's a drama, and that's weird. No, it's good, but it's not there. The opening, able to beat out the others that were there, it was just too strong of a year for Blue Period. But it's still a fantastic anime I'd highly recommend.
Oh, yeah.
But the next for this category, a standalone independent episode that is just incredible, is the first episode of To Your Eternity. It doesn't have a title, but god dang, if you didn't cry. It was such a huge event. You're just seeing these characters for the first time, and yet you love them to death. You're just understanding this world, and yet everything is coherent and makes sense, step by step. The entire journey he goes on in 23 minutes. My eyes are getting watery just remembering it. I really am.
But wait.
For all of us.
You can have this, but Bree, can I do Odd Taxi, please?
Yes, you can do the next one, Odd Taxi.
Love you, thank you. All right, so no, before we could do that, To Your Eternity definitely was an amazing. Wait, let's just say this. We sat here and we watched Yasuke, and we were like, a lot of people came to the defense of Yasuke, saying that, well, you can't really have a lot of world building in 6 episodes. Let me tell you something. To Your Eternity did it in. To Your Eternity did it in 1 episode. To Your Eternity built a world. To Your Eternity made us fall in love with a character. Like, I don't think we even had a name for this character, and we fell in love.
You're right.
We fell in love for every
with
person.
A circle, with an orb.
With a circle.
We don't get Fushi's name till like episode 4.
Yo, even to the point where he slices the salmon, I'm like, damn, I want some sushi. It just looks so real. The art looks so beautiful. And then when you saw the pain that he didn't even feel no pain, but he knew he was going. The whole emotion behind that first episode, everybody the next day said, yo, I'm not crying. You're crying. It's not me, it's you. Everybody's timeline was like,
all of our homes. It's weird.
The hardest, thuggish niggas was on Twitter, was like, yo, son, I had to take my do-rag off, son, for the one time, because this shit hard. This was hard. I love this episode of To Your Eternity, and it kept on hitting. Every single episode kept on hitting.
It's not even about the others. The point here is that you need just one episode. Just one. Even if you watch nothing else of the series, this entire category, I would encourage you to watch these 1 episodes. Combing Can't Communicate, just episode 1. To Your Eternity, just episode 1. That's all you need. If you don't have time for a full 12 or 24 episode series, fine. But this, I highly recommend.
See, Bree's tricking you because she's telling you, "Oh, just watch 1 episode." Because she know after you watch the first episode, she gonna reel you in.
Yeah, you watch.
What?
She know what she's doing.
I would never.
Okay, you gonna watch 1 episode, wake up not even wake up, just go. Why is the sun up? I came in after work watching this. Like, what the fuck?
What's that TikTok?
I fucked up.
I fucked up.
When you see the birds chirping. So the next category.
Live that life. It's fine.
The next nominee we have for this category, for best standalone episode, we have Our Taxi, episode 4. Tanaka, am I saying it right? Tanaka's?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tanaka's Revenge. Now, mind you, like Derby said before, we sat here and tried to finish Yasuke just so we could do a review about it.
Right, we were all watching it together. We had sat there and said, we're just going to like knock it all out in one day. We can do it. It's like 6 episodes long.
Lies. Our eyes were bleeding. We were just cursing. We was just mad at each other.
We lost faith
I was just
in
mad.
Anime.
Everything. And then finally, Derby, I think it was Derby that was like, the new episode of Our Taxi pulled up. Let's watch that. I was like, all right, cool.
I had already watched it at that point, and I just
watched it already. Okay.
Yeah, I needed the palate cleanser, and I needed it too. So I was like, I need to rewatch something that's good.
This was so good. And I'm going to tell you why this episode was so good. It had nothing. At first, you don't see the main character. You don't see the protagonist. You don't see. These are a whole new set of characters in episode 4. So you're sitting there thinking like, what the fuck? Is this even the same fucking, it's the same anime because it looks like the same art style. I remember the OP is slap. This got to be the same show. But then you forget all about that because you are so pulled in about the character's backstory and the way they made everything come together at the last 2 seconds. You're like, oh.
So good. And you know, it's
there it is.
The pure power of writing. Because you know, the animation on Taxi, it's nothing to write home about. It's very simple. There's nothing impressive. Nothing's happening. There's no fight scenes. In fact, pretty much this entire episode is just this guy's internal monologue. But when I tell you the voice acting, when I tell you the way they write and draw all the lines together, it is what writing can and should be. It is how much you can do in 23 episodes with a character no one's seen before. We came in thinking it might even be a filler. So, like, not even look forward to that much. Like, let's check it out. And
nope.
Boom. Done.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yep. It was great. Incredible. It was great.
Yo, I feel bad for the dub actor. Because, you got a
lot to live up to. I can't wait for the dub. Yeah. When I tell you, I'm rewatching this entire series dub and looking forward to it. I'm not even playing. I can't wait.
Shout out to Zeno Robinson, who's also been picked up for the dub casting in Our Taxi. So we actually got the pleasure of listening to the dub episode 1 and 2 of Our Taxi at Anime NYC with the reserved seats. Thank you, Crunchyroll. So we were happy to get 2 episodes. So that led me to believe. So y'all already had all the dub, and y'all just sitting on it. Just give it to me, sir. Just give it to me. Just give it to me. But yeah, go ahead, Bree. Sorry.
Okay, so next up on the list is Kageki Shoujo, episode 8 called Kaoru Summer. So if you've been listening to us, you know that I, and especially Derby, have been singing the praises of Kageki Shoujo. It is just so good.
Me too. I like it.
You too?
It's pretty. I like the cherry blossoms.
She liked the cherry blossoms. But this one episode, well, actually, most of Kageki Shoujo, what it does really well is giving the surrounding cast, not just the main character, a lot of time to shine. So every episode kind of focuses on one of the side characters, often in relation to the main character. But this one was just a pure backstory episode on one of the girls we've seen around. And it is just so good. Again, it feels like a whole full movie, yet they somehow crush it into a single 23-minute show. It makes you feel so much for this girl, for this like guy that she now meets. And it's entirely before the series happens. It's like just prequel backstory. But it does so much for one single episode. So I highly recommend it. If you watch any bit of Kageki Shoujo, I say go ahead and watch episode 8. Honestly, you can take any individual episode and love the hell out of it.
It'd probably work, yeah.
But yeah,
especially like the back, like the middle 6 will really work.
Yep.
By themselves.
Now we're on to our final nominee from the best standalone episode. This one I was a bit hesitant to put on the list because it was helpful if you have some context of the rest of the series. So it's not perfectly standalone, but it is a great culmination episode. So this is
She's Beautiful to Me,
episode 16 called Family Squabble. So this is that isekai that demolishes all other isekai right now. It is just so beautifully done.
Much, yeah.
We talked about it for not paying taxes, and it shows. So this is just a reunion episode between a father and a son that goes terribly wrong, and you can feel the weight of it. Like, the entire episode is a slow car crash you see from afar and can do nothing about. It is a disaster with so
But you don't
many
look away. You still look.
You can't look away. It is just a well-constructed fight, well-constructed discussion. And it carries the weight of so much that's going on. Again, that's Jobless Rebirth, episode 16, Family Squabbles. And that concludes our Black Ramen Anime Award nominees.
Wait, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
So if you see the slide right here, a lot of people, y'all know I'm known for my nasty shit. This was Bree's picture right here. The panty shot right here. She picked this out.
Yeah.
So don't blame me for this. All right,
yeah, but
it
does encapsulate the character.
Oh God.
I mean, that's his church,
right?
Oh my God.
He's a bit of a perv,
He's technically
and he
wearing
knows,
God
like,
on his face.
oh shit, I've been caught. I thought that was a perfect image to show him like things are not going to go well.
Nah, that was a good choice though, Bree.
Thank you.
Shout out to Bree.
Well done.
So that's our nominees for Black Ramen Anime Awards 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't be shy. Vote. Voting polls will be open within the next 24 hours after listening to this episode. So if you're listening to this episode on Spotify, don't forget to go on the bottom of this episode. You can scroll on the bottom and we'll have the categories listed on Spotify and you can go ahead and vote. I don't know how many times you can vote, but go ahead, make another account, vote. We want it. Also, we're going to have our nominees posted on Twitter. So you can go ahead and vote on Twitter as well. And we're going to try our best to have it on not on TikTok, but we're going to try our best to have it on Instagram. Let's see how that works. We want you to interact with us. We'll read come next episode, we'll read the winners of the categories and let y'all know what was up and who failed or whatever, and who we wanted to win, because at the end of the day, is what we think is it. We win. Right. It matters. We win.
We already won,
but we still want y'all to vote.
Series.
True.
This is just our victory lap.
Yeah, it is. It is. The baton is still in my hand, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, don't be a stranger. Vote. Go to Spotify. Vote on Spotify. Go to our Twitch. No, go to our Twitter. And vote on Twitter. We'll also have this on Instagram. 24 hours after listening to this episode, go ahead and vote. Any final words, Bree and Derby?
Nah, just vote. And if you've heard of something today that you didn't hear of before, check it out. These are all shows that we are willing to stand behind, that we watched, we loved, and we would love it if you watch and love.
Except for the overhyped section. You can skip those.
Yeah, you can skip those. Those are not necessary.
Yeah.
Oh, there was two categories they could skip. No, overhyped and who paid taxes for the wrong reason.
Nah, because Fairy Ron
don't watch
that.
There. Yeah.
Wait, but that's in Underhyped as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's fine. It's fine.
It's covered. We covered the bases.
Because we do it so you don't have to, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
All right. So that concludes our episode of Black Ramen Anime Awards. Tune in next time when we reveal our winners. And with that being said, I forgot to hit the outro. Sorry. With that being said, we are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. See you on the flip side.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
No, I gotta say this again. Bree, these slides are beautiful.
Thank you. Are we done? Do we turn off our voice and sound, or is the outro still playing?
It's not playing. You all off beat and shit.